event. She knows how to do it. She knows how to do it. She represented Kenya at the Africa Championships, cross-country championships. She represented Kenya at the World Cross-Country Championships in Serbia. And she's here again now, starting the season with the cross-country.
And of course, the cross-country is in its third leg. Of course, we are in Iten at the moment. We'll go to Bomet, Kalau, then Kisii, before heading for the National Cross-Country Championships. But this is Iten bringing you the third leg of the National Cross-Country Series. Look at the crowd. Look at the course. It's really, really beautiful. Everything just working out as it should be. And right now, the lead has been taken over by I think it's Linda Jemutai. I'll confirm that in a bit. But Christine Joki is now in second. Gladys in really second place at the moment.
And of course, Mulemi, as you
and the home of champions for nothing. Yes, Bernard.
Yeah. Behind me here, I have a lot of athletes who are standing behind here, watching and following the race. I can see Daniel Simiu seated somewhere, watching closely for these new talents that are actually, that's the last lap now that these athletes are going. 5 of them still stuck together. Relin, of course, in the lead. And I was telling you, Mulemi, that there are many athletes seated at a good position. They are able to follow athletes from this position closely. As I can see Daniel Sumiu. I was told Ezekiel Kemboy was around here. And then we have so many other athletes who normally do road races and train here in Iten. I can see Mark Korir. Mark Korir is one of the I think the eldest athletes. I can see Delvin Meringor, who represents Romania, but she trains in Kaptagat. She's a Kenyan. She trains in Kapsagat. And there are so many athletes here. And I can see also Purity Gitonga. There are so many. They are following closely the action here. So I think they are enjoying the event, Mulemi. They are enjoying the unfolding event.
It is very difficult to enjoy if you know you always compete. But is Miriam Chemutai now in the lead as we speak. Miriam Chemutai closely followed by Catherine Drelin, sorry. So it's Miriam Chemutai now in the lead. She looks really strong. Gladys in third. Gladys Kipkoech. She's really tried. And then Christine Joki falling to 5th place as they jump the hay. But it is Miriam Chemutai. She looks to be in cruise control as the sun now comes out beautifully. And they now increase the pace. It is Miriam Chemutai in the lead. And the lady from the KDF, Kenya Defense Forces, in cruise control of this one now. Cynthia Chepngeno of KDF, born on 3rd of June 2000. She's leading Karel Relin and, of course, her KDF counterpart, Gladys Kipkoech, now comes to 3rd. It's now heading towards the business end of events here, and Cynthia Chepngeno decides this is what I'm going to do. So it is Cynthia Chepngeno, Catherine Relin, and of course Gladys Jepkosgei. Keep quiet. And that is Cynthia Chepngeno. Looks really strong, this lady from KDF. Now it's KDF 1, KDF 3, and North Rift. In third place, of course, Gladys Keep Quiet. It is Gladys Kipkoech in third, born in 1996. So she has enough experience to know what to do on this course. And Cynthia Chepngeno
Mulemi.
and Catherine Relin still
Yeah, Mulemi.
in 1-2. Bernard.
Yeah, Mulemi. Now the crowd is now moving towards the other side of the field. They want to watch closely how this race will unfold, because we have three athletes stuck together. We don't know who will win the race.
So the battle is between Catherine Relin, Cynthia Chepngeno, and Gladys Kipkoech. As you predicted, it's going to be a sprint finish in this one because they are very close to each other.
And of course, the two athletes now, of course, Relin and I know them. They train in a high altitude area, because Cynthia trains in Keringet, that is in Nakuru County, and then we have Relin training in Kapsait, also another high altitude area. So seeing them running today this way, it means they had prepared for this race and they really wanted to win the race. Remember, Relin was second in Kapsokwony, which is also another high altitude area.
Cynthia Chepngeno in the lead, Karen Relin in second, and of course Gladys Kipkoech in third place, the front runners. And of course the favorites to lift the 10-kilometer senior women race. So it's the Chepngeno, Relin, Kipkoech. That is Cynthia Chepngeno descending the hillside. And now she'll be fancying her chances, but then Gladys Kipkoech steams away from Cynthia Chepngeno, and Cynthia ain't relenting. She decides to respond, and so is Relin, and now it will be very, very interesting as they head towards the home stretch. So currently in the lead is Cynthia Chepngeno. Gladys burst out fast, but she could not just maintain that pace. But then it is Cynthia Chepngeno from KDF stretching that lead just ahead of Catherine Relin of North Rift, and they're being cheered home. It is Cynthia, Catherine, Glad in that order. But then Cynthia decides, this is my race. She's gonna win the 10-kilometer senior women's race. Relin falling to third, and it is Gladys Kipkoech finishing second, just about
Mulemi, I told you it will be a
Catherine
sprint
Relin.
Mulemi, I told you it will be a sprint finish for these athletes, and you've seen it. Maybe from 150 meters they started sprinting for the finish line.
Yes, Cynthia Chepngeno, winner of the 10-kilometer senior women's race. Gladys Kipkoech coming in second, and of course Catherine Relin, who just led for most parts of this race, couldn't just make it, and I can see them exchanging niceties here. And it is Cynthia Chepngeno, Gladys Kipkoech, and Catherine Relin in that order. It is the 10th senior women's race. Beautiful, that has been decided by a nice sprint from Cynthia Chepngeno.
Yeah, of course, Mulemi
led for most part of the race, couldn't just hold on.
Yeah,
Yes,
of
Bernard.
course, Muleme, seeing these athletes running well, we have coaches running around here. They are very happy to see how the athletes have finished these races. And of course, coming in now is
My name is Zandi Lindovo, the Black Mermaid. Being
championships with an injury. She had an injury. She picked an injury actually during that race, and she couldn't. She finished at number 17, and of course she's coming back well, having won here today. That shows that she's doing very well. She also won the 5,000. It was there was a race in Machakos a day before the cross country. She won the 5,000 meters race, and seeing her winning here today, it's really encouraging for these athletes, and that shows that they've really trained and worked hard for this event. So the coaches are here. They are very happy to see their athletes finishing these races in various positions. That means they had prepared for these races. I can see athletes finish. I can see Valerie. Valerie has finished the race very well. I told you Valerie is coming back. She's a marathoner. Ketwa Ruguru is a marathoner. Also Karen Chebet, Sela Busiene. There are so many athletes here. And as we wait for Charity for the interviews, how can you describe the women's race, the senior women's race today?
Exactly what we expected from the onset when we said that we are going to see a sprint finish this one. And of course, it came to happen with just I was impressed with Gladys Kipech, who for most parts of the race didn't show signs that she was going to finish on the podium. But then when it came to the last kilometer, she decided to come towards the first. She came into the first pool of athletes, and there you go. She went and decided, I'm gonna finish on the podium, sprinting and finishing second in the 10 kilometers race. This was really impressive. I know if she timed her race nicely, she might have just piped Cynthia Chepngeno. But then Charity will be talking to Cynthia, Gladys, and Catherine. Let's hear what they have to say after emerging first, second, and third in the 10 kilometers. Charity.
Thanks so much, Mulemi and Rotich. I'm joined here by the women 10-kilometer winners. We have Cynthia Chepngeno. Cynthia has won her first cross-country series for this season. Cynthia, vipi kwako? Nyuma kulikuwa mshindani mkali sana. Ulikuwa na wasiwasi kidogo?
Nilikuwa na wasiwasi sababu hii ni first cross country this season.
So vile umekimbia hapa leo, pengine ukirudi mazoezi unataka kuangalia kufocus na nini sana, ni nini umefeel uja perfect kidogo kwa mazoezi yako, na hizo tunatarajia nini kwako?
After hii race naenda kustayarisha hasa kwa side ya speed, naenda ku improve speed work. Sijajua sasa hapo mbele.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you.
Tuko na number 1 na 2 is Miriam. Tafadhali njoo hapa. Tuko na Miriam Chebet. Miriam, nimeona umekimbiza Catherine. Catherine njoo karibu pia. Nimeona umekimbiza Catherine. Nini ilikusukuma ukaamua lazima usukume Catherine?
Niliona naweza ingia number 2. Niliona venye anaenda kidogo, nikasema nikachipa moyo, lazima ndafunga.
Ni pengine ni makosa gani alifanya ndio ukajua hapa lazima nimpite?
Ana makosa, hako sawa.
Aha. Hii season vile umeweza kukimbia pa leo, pengine tunatarajia nini kwako? Tutakuona kwa maybe long distance races ama ni road running?
Nitangangana because hii ni first season yangu ya cross country, ndaenda kutia tena bidii ili nisonge mbele vizuri.
Thank you so much. I'm also joined here by Catherine Relin. Catherine has finished number 3. Catherine was second at Kapsokwonyi, which was held last week in Busia County. Catherine, nimeona umeweza kukimbizana pia na Miriam. Pengine ni nini una feel kwa mazoezi ndio ukirudi utaenda urekebishe ndio usipitwe tena hivyo?
Nikirudi kwa mazoezi, kwanza sikuwa natarajia nitakuwa top 3. Last 3 weeks nilikuwa long run 38. So na prepare now long marathon. Ndio nimeona nimetaramuka kidogo, speed imetaramuka kidogo. Yeah.
Pengine utakimbia cross country ingine as part of your preparations?
Next cross country naona vile mwili itakuwa
ndaweza enda. Yeah.
Umepanga race yote ile unaanza nao season?
Sina race yote sai. Maybe next year marathon. Yeah, na prepare marathon now.
All the best and congratulations.
Santi.
Those are the winners for the 10-kilometer race for the senior women. We had Cynthia Chemngeno and Miriam Chebet competing their first cross country for this in this season and being able to finish in the podium. Miriam gave gave Catherine a chase, and she was able to snatch the second position from her. Catherine is saying she still needs to work on her speed and a bit of endurance, though she didn't expect to be able to finish among the top 3, but she's happy so far. Over to you, Mlemi and Rotich, as we wait to do an interview with the events director.
Athletes team streaming in to finish the 10-kilometer senior women's race that was won by Cynthia Chepngeno, who's expressed her delight in winning this one. In second place, of course, Gladys Kipkoech of KDF, and of course Catherine Relin. So Cynthia Chepngeno 34 minutes 27.4 seconds, Gladys Chepkoech 34 minutes 28.5 seconds, and of course Catherine Relin came in third, 34 minutes 29.7 seconds. So these are the winners, and of course more interviews on the other side. Over to you, Charity. As we are waiting for Charity, who will be speaking to the events director, Mr. Tanui. So Charity, over to you.
I'm joined here by the events director, Mr. Kennedy Tanui. Mr. Kennedy Tanui, you've had the privilege of organizing so far 3 cross countries in this season. We had the first one, which was Machakos. Now we went to Kapsakonyi last week, and now we are here in Iten. Perhaps what are some of the challenges that you faced during this preparation?
First, thank you very much because of this opportunity. It has been a challenge. One, first of all, you find that the 3 cross countries have been held in different what we can call geographical areas. 2, the backgrounds of athleticism in the 3 different places vary, and you find out that as we come to this place here, the biggest challenge here has been crowds in Iten. To manage 1,000 people in a cross country is such a very hard thing. This is more of a marathon than a cross country, but you find out that the officials here and the input that has been put here is very amazing. The fans are very amazing. They have turned up in large numbers to watch. In fact, they have closed the nearby market that is just adjacent to this stadium to come and watch, and that is very good. In terms of the technical input around here, first of all, we want to say that North Rift is very endowed in terms of technical officiating, in terms of the resources that are here. We have put all the best to ensure that cross country is here. This is the home of marathoners, home of all the road runners that you hear in Kenya, and they're now testing their speed with this kind of a very beautiful lawn and a few challenges that are here to make sure that they load their speeds and everything that pertains to it. This has been the very best of best that we have had today.
Yesterday we had a challenge of athletes coming up late for the registration. What would you like to advise?
First of all, as it is the rule, is that we must pick pips for competitions a day before the championship, at the eve of the championships, because of very many things. One, it is an anti-doping regulation that we can have a day for what we call contact or targeted testing, and 2, to make sure that we plan for the next day in terms of resources and everything that numbers have, like like hydration and all those things. So we find out that all athletes must collect at least by 6 p.m. in the evening. But you find out that in Iten, it is another story. They will always come up to and including midnight, which to us was a very big challenge. But we had to handle the crowds. We gave them latitude of time. We extended the collection time only to make sure that the numbers that were here are catered for. So it is a challenge, but we want to make sure that in the forthcoming events, we can even have more than one collection center. It's fun with the drone like this. We have another center to collect in a center like Eldoret and others in Iten. So we make arrangement, but it's expensive again, and it's expensive in terms of resources and also monetary value.
We have more events this month. Perhaps if you could brief us a bit about that.
We are going to Longonot mid of this month for the mountain trail run this month, and the other month also we shall be in Bomet for the 4th cross country, which is also the same as this one, as this is the season. So we want to prepare, and the coming month we are opening with Chepsaita on 7th, which is a gold label cross country, and we've done a lot of registration again. The same challenge in Iten is the same there. So we want to welcome everybody to these events. Athletics Kenya is proud of you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tanawi. We also have the Iten cross country also attracted a number of international athletes. Kindly tell us your name and how was the experience over here?
Hello, my name is Cecilia, and it was tough today, but it was also fun to race in Iten. Yeah.
What race are you preparing for?
So I'm preparing for cross country in Denmark, and then I'll try to find a half marathon in the spring in Spain.
Judging from your performance here today, what are you going to target in your training?
I think a mix of like having fun and training hard. I had a baby 13 months ago, exactly on this date, so getting back in shape is just fun. Yeah.
Happy birthday to your baby.
What?
Happy birthday to your baby.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We also have another. Kindly tell us your name and your inspiration to run today.
So my name is Marta Sanchez from Spain, and I'm really happy to be here. It's my 3rd time in this year, so Kenya for me it's a place to perform, to reach another level, and I'm really glad that you organize this for us and we can join your community.
For this season, what are you doing the build up here? Which race are you preparing for?
I'm a triathlete, swim, bike, run. So my next race is in 1 month in Australia, and I'm racing more long distance.
Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Over to you, Mulemi, as we continue with the next race.
And we are on for the second last event of the day, the 2 kilometers loop men race. And this one is also a race that will provide fireworks. Looking at how it's been lined up, the likes of Kamar Etiang, Nicholas Kibet, Felix Kipchirchi, Robert Kingetich, Alan Ruto, Lemayan, Cornelius Kipketer, Vincent Roy, Alan Kipiego. Now, this is going to be very, very, very interesting. And of course, it's fast and furious. I can see also from the master side, the likes of Cornelius Kimutai. But then, these athletes, 1, 2 furious laps. Bernard, if you can hear me. And of course, as the race continues, we'll be heading over to the podium to see who is being awarded. And that is Relin, winner 20,000 shillings after finishing 3rd. in the 10-kilometer senior women's race. Of course, the second will be earning 30,000 shillings and the first 50,000 Kenya shillings. Gladys Kipkosgei, 40,000 shillings for coming in. Not 30 as initially indicated. And then the winner, Cynthia Chepngeno, 50,000 Kenya shillings.
Mulemi.
Yes, Bernard.
Of course, this is a 2-kilometer loop, and if you can see and you can watch, the leading pack now is Emmanuel Wanyonyi, who is leading, and Fanuel Kipkoech, who was also in the under 20. And of course, there's another athlete who has just surged forward. Maybe you can confirm the bib number so that we can know who the athlete is. But seeing the two athletes in the lead, you remember Fanuel was also representing Kenya at the World Under 20 Championships in Lima, Peru. And then Wanyonyi, of course, is the Olympics champion in 800 meters. So, you know, this is a one-way race. You just go, it's a one loop. That is a 2-kilometer loop. And of course, as we said, it's being used by the federation to see, maybe to select the best team that will be able to represent the country in the upcoming international races. That is, we are able to get the best for mixed relay event. Muremi?
Of course, in Machakos, we had the relay. It turned out well, but then Athletics Kenya have done it differently by ensuring that we have the loop races in that the 2-kilometer loop for men and women as they take that ascending area in the course, that is the hill area. It is 2 kilometers loop main race. The second last event of the day before ushering in the 10 kilometers senior men's race.
And again, Mulemi, Fanuel, who is now in the lead, is a Form 4 student at St. Francis Kimuron here in Elgeyo Marakwet. So he has been training, of course, taking advantage of this belt, which is an high altitude area. And he finished fast in Kapsokwony, winning the 2-kilometer loop. Will he be able to maintain this here today? Will he be able to win back-to-back? So it's really competitive. As you can see, athletes are really want that first, second, third positions. So will he finish in that position? Because remember, of course, Wanyonyi is here also. Of course, he has gone to the second place. Maybe you can, Mulemi, you can confirm who is leading.
Of course, Fanuel, a Form 4 student, was third in Kapsokwony last weekend and currently leading this race here. He looks really, really strong, being cheered by his coaches, his fans, and of course, everyone else here in the stadium. Remember, we are live from the Iten grounds, bringing you the third leg of this Athletics Kenya National
and of course,
Series.
And of course, Wanyonyi is doing what he knows best.
Very, very, very interesting. Bernard.
I'm saying Wanyonyi is doing what he knows best. The sprint finish. He is now on the lead. He is now leading. Remember, he has started celebrating. He has started celebrating in this event. And of course, as you can see, there's another athlete also coming up so well. Things are changing here. Mulemi.
And of course, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, the Olympic champion in the 800 meters, ran a tactical race. He's tiring, but then stiff competition from Kamare Tiang. But then Emmanuel Wanyonyi and Kamare Tiang, who wins it? Emmanuel Wanyonyi just edges Kamare Tiang. This has been really, really, really fast and unpredictable, Bernard.
Yeah, Fanuel was, of course, he won in Kapsokwony. Now he has become third. The winner here is Olympics champion, 800 meters, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, who has won today. So many athletes doing here well. I've also seen Noah Kibet, who has been training in the US. Of course, seeing Etienne coming from back about 20 meters all the way to finish second is really encouraging. And of course, we will be talking to Wanyonyi and get to know and listen to him what he says in terms of preparation of this race. We have so many athletes here. We can see Kones here, Wilberforce Kones. There are so many athletes. I have seen George Manangoi here. Of course, he's coming back, and the 1500 meters. The 1500 meters athlete. There are so many athletes here. Of course, they are using this race as a build-up in preparations for the races ahead of them. And of course, the winner was Emmanuel Wanyonyi, and then the second athlete was Etienne Kamar, and the third athlete was Fanwell, a Form 4 student at St. Kimuron. So
wow.
We can listen.
In second place was Kamar. What do you think about
you are ready for
Kamar
the interviews?
But then, before we listen to Kamar, we can go over to Charity to hear what she has to say. She's speaking to the winner, Emmanuel Wanyonyi. So we await for Charity to speak to Emmanuel Wanyonyi, winner of the 2 kilometer loop men's race. So Charity, if you're ready, you can take it over. And you look at these long queues, it's like they've just begun the races and it's over, Bernard. Well, what's the interest in the loop race? So many participants in this one.
Yeah. For this race, of course, I can also see Moitalel, Moitalel, who does 400 adults here, and I think the interest in this event here, athletes are able to gauge their performance here when they compete. So I want to hand over to Charity so that she can be able to tackle the interviews.
Thank you so much, Rotich and Mulemi. I'm joined here by the Olympics champion and the world silver medalist, Emmanuel Wanyonyi. Emmanuel, race imekuwa vipi kwako?
Race imekuwa poa, nimefurahia kwa kukimbia cross country leo. Kwa cross country inanisaidia kwa build up. Yeah.
Vile tulikuwa tuanzie na wewe uko Kapsokwonyi, but you later decided kukuja hapa. Nini ilisukumia hiyo decision?
Si kwa sababu nilikuwa naumia mguu. Sasa kukimbia Kapsokwonyi.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Welcome.
Okay. I'm also joined by Etienne Kumar. Etienne, nini umefanya tofauti kwa hii mazoezi leo? Nimeona umeweza kukimbiza hadi Emmanuel Wanyonyi.
In Kapsakwony nilikuwa sawa, but nilifika mahali nikashikwa na stitch. So hapa nilijitahidi, lakini nilianza vibaya. Nilianza na nyuma, nikapika pole pole nikikuja. Yeah.
Perhaps kwa the next cross country utakuwa umepata experience gani ile utataka kurudia?
Maybe I can be one of the most athlete winning in that time. Yeah.
Thank you so much and congratulations.
Welcome.
I'm also joined by the World School Cross Country winner in the under 18 category, and also E-World at the Kapsokwonyi Cross Country in the 2 kilometer loop. Fanwell Koech. Fanwell, race imekuwa vipi kwako leo?
Kwanza kabisa ningependa kushukuru Mungu ameniwezesha. Sijui nilikuwa nataka hiyo competition kabisa ya kina Wanyonyi kukutana na seniors, na leo nashukuru nimeona penye niko. Waja hata kama bado niko shule, at least nimeona niko vyema. Ndio.
Monday iko hapa, uko na siku moja kabla tuanze mtihani. Matayarisho yako ya shule iko vipi?
Matayarisho yangu ya shule nimejitayarisha vizuri. For Monday niko na English paper 1 na chemistry paper 1. So niko na tayari na niko na nitapita. Ndio.
Unaweza kubalance aje mbio na masomo?
Sai sijapiga mazoezi, sai nimekuwa tu class throughout. So nilisema tu acha nikuje tukutana hapa hivi na wengine ndio nijaribu penye niko. Ndio.
Thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
That was the 2-kilometer loop winners. We had the Olympic and world silver medalist Emmanuel Wanyonyi in the 800 meters, being the winner in the 2-kilometer loop. He's saying that he was not able to compete at Kapsokwenyi. He had an injury and it felt that it was wise for him to skip that race and come and compete here at Iten. We also had Kumar Etiang, who's saying that during Kapsokwenyi he made some mistakes. He got a stitch. But today he was happy with the decision and also able to finish. And also we have the Form 4 candidate Fanuel Koech also finishing once again at the podium after winning the race in Kapsokwenyi. Over to you, Mlemi, as we start the next event.
And now to the last event of the day, the 10-kilometer senior men's race. A total of 400.
Mulemi, of course, we have a huge number here. We have a lot of athletes,
yes.
More than 400. That is 476. They just want to go. They just want to go. Yes, they just want to go. It will be interesting to see the first 100 meters, how they'll be able to compete.
It looks more like a crowd than competitors.
a standard cross country you need to have 800 athletes. So if you have more than 800, there they go. You can see how they are running. Yeah.
It looks like you said tomorrow it's the New York Marathon.
And of course leading is Asbel Kiprop. Have you seen Asbel Kiprop? He is the one leading. Asbel Kiprop, the former 15, and of course it's a false
start. Great to see the legend Asbel Kiprop. And why has it been recalled?
Are you
was it a warm-up? Was it a warm-up, Bernard?
Not a warm-up, but it is a false start. They have been told to go back, all of them. So, and of course they were ready to tackle the course.
Very interesting. We wait to see what happens here.
There are 476 athletes, and you were telling me earlier that about 300 were locked out of this event.
Yes, 300 were locked out, and this will be very, very interesting because this is a huge number. Have we witnessed this before? Bernard, have you ever witnessed such a huge turnout before?
I have not seen such a huge turnout before in the races that I've covered and that I have attended. This number is big, and now that takes us back to the motivation part, because I think after the motivation thing, when the athletes are now winning big prizes, that is, everybody wants to compete. Everybody wants to run this race. So, of course, apart from winning maybe prizes, they want to see how they'll perform as the cross-country season starts.
You are ready for the restart of this one. Now it's smooth and it's push and shove. The athletes trying so hard to ensure that they stay within the track, because that's the mistake that happened during the first start of this one. And these are huge numbers. Some of them, the bib numbers are falling off their chests. But then you realize that it is going to be very competitive. And you talked about Asbel Kiprop, Bernard. He's not starting from the front yet again. He started the way he used to start in the 1500 meters, from the back.
Yes, he has decided to start maybe from the back, but it will be a tough affair, because closing that gap it will be a tough affair. You cannot compare it with a track event, because a track event there are few athletes, but here even overtaking an athlete is really tough.
Because you look at some of the names like of Hilary Koech in this one, Michael Kimutai Mayo, Samuel Sawe, Benjamin Diku of police. These are just some of the names that will be watching here at the Iten grounds in this event that promises fireworks. It is the 10-kilometer race. Look at that snake-like curve. That shows you that most of these athletes came here not to play but to compete. The last event of the day. Looks like a big one nice winding move. And I'm afraid in this one, if you are not careful, you'll end up finishing even 300, number 300 or 400, because there are so many athletes and all of them are ready to compete. 300 were locked out in this one.
Maybe, Mulemi, you can tell us who are the athletes who are competing here today. Some of the names competing here. Maybe you can tell the viewers some of the athletes competing today in this category.
An interesting name comes from Lebanon, an athlete called Saleh Zieter. Born in 1985, he should be the oldest member, oldest competitor in this one. He's an athlete that is running in this one. I've just seen him pass where near the commentary booth, and of course, the likes of Kenneth Kemboy of Police, born in 1991. I'm also looking at KDF's Emmanuel Kipchumba. I'm also looking at Amos Chebi, Kiproti Matthew, Solomon Kibiwot. I have to flip the pages because these are huge number. Isaac Kiplangat Koech, Dennis Kibet, of course, it's in. We've talked about Asbel Kiprop, former world champion in the 1,500 meters. Jonathan Komen Kipyegon of Police. We have the likes of Festus Cheruyot. We have the likes of Dennis Kibet and Thomas Kipto Kipchumba. I'm still flipping through the pages. I'm on page number 3. We are not even yet there. I can see from page number 3 we have Asbel Kiprop of Police, of course, born in 1989. They are very respectable athlete, very respected athlete over the 1,500 meters. We have Asbel I. There is of KDF, another Lebanese athlete called Ali Aldira Kanan is also competing in this one. And then from the right center, we have Julian Rank, born in 1996, is here and he'll be running together with David Kipkoech in this of Police. Isaac Betchebuyo, Anthony Frontera. This is another athlete from France. So you can see this field athletes that are competing. We have others from Lebanon, France. We've seen Spanish, Irish, all competing in this one. There is Moses Kipto of KDF, as Samuel Napio. So Bernard, it's a rich field that has very big names. Boniface Kiptarus, Godwin Kimutai, Justice Kimutai, Jaris Chepsor, Shadrach Kipkosgei, Gideon Kipkoech, Vince Vedic Cheruyot. I'm almost there, flipping my 4th page. And then there is Kimutai Ernest, another one from the North Rift, Josphat Kipchirchir, Dennis Cheruyot, Evans Kipkemoi Biwot, and then there is Mike Kipto Kiplagat. And these are just some of the athletes that will be competing in this one. So Bernard, it's a rich field of athletes, and so many of them want to prove a point here.
Yeah, of course, as they come to finish the first lap, we are almost going to the medal ceremony for the 2-kilometer loop, the men's 2-kilometer loop. And of course, we have Fanuel there, Fanuel Koech winning 5,000, and then that is a bronze medalist. And then we have Tian Kamaru was second, and Wanyonyi was the winner. Maybe going back to the athletes who are competing here today, I told you about Harrison Wanyonyi. Harrison Wanyonyi is a race walker, and he is competing here today before his walking season starts, because he said he's using this event as part of build-up for this event. So when he competes here, he's able to get some. Of course, he wants to get some. He wants to get some endurance ahead of the walk race. Of course, in December he might have a race to compete in, but he's using this race here today as. So people are wondering, can a race walker run? And he said yes, it's possible, because he wants to compete with the others as he sharpens his skills ahead of the race walk event. So maybe as the athletes are being awarded, maybe Mulemi, how you can see now that curve, how the athletes are now running. It's a beautiful scenery.
Beautiful scenery, looks like a long trek towards the hill or something like that. But then you can see the athletes, they look really, really strong. Some of them are actually showing signs of even bettering their personal best. But then we say that this is a pre-season, of course, and let's see what happens on the other side, because it's the medals, the medal ceremony, and let's see what happens on the side. But it's your way to see what's happening on the podium. The crowd being lifted by this talented group of athletes who are now leading, not really leading, but then competing in the last race of the day. Beautiful images there showing exactly what's happening here at the Iten grounds.
So Mulemi, even as athletes, maybe tackle the second lap. That is, they're going for the second. That is for 4 kilometers. We want to talk about the next event, because we now have to get ready for the next event. We are almost finishing this. Now, where are we going next?
Of course, we'll be going to Bomet in the next couple of weeks, and currently leading there is Asbel Kiprono of North Rip. Not the Asbel Kiprop we were talking about. This is Kiprono, who
he must be the one who won it. He must be the one who won in Machakos. He must be
the one who won in Machakos, and is here trying to prove a point, ensuring that he wins to his second event of this calendar year. Asbel Kiprop, winner of the 10-kilometer senior men's race in Machakos, and currently leading this Iten leg. You can see him gliding uphill, and he looks really, really strong. Could he be proving a point to someone that this is his race? Maybe we'll be waiting to see that. Asbel Kiprop, who won in Machakos, is now leading. That is the athlete from Lebanon. And now Vincent Kipto now takes charge of matters here.
In the Hall of Champions.
as they descend the hill. Look at how they are doing things here. From over 400 athletes, now it's starting to shape up, Bernard.
Yeah, it's now, we are now separating men from boys.
Yeah. Look at the crowd.
Now we
it's a great day of athletics, yeah?
Yeah, true. This is a home of champions. And of course, they've positioned themselves in various points so that they can be able to catch the action live from these grounds. Of course, it's our preparations for the better part of the cross-country season, which goes all the way to February. And after this, we are going to Bomet, as you said, and then head to Olkalau, and then, of course, end in Kisii. And I think these events give all the athletes an opportunity to compete in these events in either way. If you are in Bomet and you didn't compete here, you can compete in Bomet. If you are in Olkalau and you didn't come here, you can compete there the other weekend, and of course the Kisii part. After that, we are going to have all the counties doing their trials, of course, and of course for these athletes, they want to train hard and compete here and be able to do to know if they are in good shape to be able to tackle various events across the globe. We have marathoners here competing here. We have long distance athletes. We have those who compete in 5,800 meters, like Wanyonyi was just finished a 2-kilometer loop. So it's an event that builds an athlete as he or she prepares for the next event. And of course, I was saying after the counties event, we'll have the regional events where we'll have all the regional selecting teams. And Mulemi, I will tell you the one that I'll be even interested to see how it will unfold is the North Rift the regional event, which will be taking place in Turkana, Lodwar. In Lodwar, Turkana County. So in that area, they normally compete very early in the morning and then late in the evening due to the high temperatures. So, and of course, after selecting their team, they will be able to meet at the national level in February at the Kenya Prisons Training College in Ruiru, Kiambu County. And then we have two gold label events. Of course, athletes also are competing here. We have the Great Chepsaita Run, which is happening next month. We have about a month to go. So athletes will also be looking forward to that event. It's a gold label event being promoted from bronze label, and now it's a gold label. And then after that, we'll have the Sirikwa cross country in February, and that will now be almost the tail end of the cross country events, as athletes now will be looking forward to participate in competitions in the track and field events, which starts in March. And it goes all the way to September, where we'll have a team representing Kenya at the World Championships in Tokyo, Japan. So, Mulemi, it's a packed season. It is a packed season for athletes, and they have to really train hard for them to perform well in various events that's coming up.
And of course, the athletes will be having several events coming up lined up in the coming weeks, and that is Asbel Kiprop still leading Vincent Kipto and Robert Kiprop Koech in this one, and the distance has been reduced a little bit between the first and second place. That second place, of course, is Robert Kiprop Koech of Police. Asbel Kiprop and Vincent Kipto were neck to neck, but then it is Mr. The two Kiprops, but Asbel leading Robert.
Yeah, Mulemi, and of course, as we continue following up the men's senior race, I told you about athletes who are competing tomorrow. I have to mention them once again. The New York Marathon, it's happening tomorrow in US, and we have athletes who are competing there. That's the last race of the 6 major marathons, where the first one was, of course, Tokyo Marathon in March, and then we had London Marathon and Boston Marathon in April, and then Berlin Marathon in September, Chicago Marathon last month, October, and then we have the last one as a New York Marathon. New York Marathon always has a tough course, a very tough course. It can be compared with Boston Marathon, and athletes will see how will be keen to watch how these athletes will compete tomorrow. And just to give you a lineup, like in the men's race, we have Evans Chebet, who was third in Boston Marathon this year, who missed last year to compete due to an injury, and won in 2022. He's going back there, and of course he's eyeing a comeback. He wants to win. Evans Chebet trains with Emmanuel Wanyonyi at the Two Running Club in Kapsabet. And then go to Albert Korir. Albert Korir trains in Kaptarakwa area, within this Elgeyo Marakwet County. And then we have another athlete, Geoffrey Kamoror. Geoffrey Kamoror won in 2018, and is going back there. He wants to maybe finish at the podium again. Remember, Geoffrey has been hit by injuries, but this time he said he's in good shape. He wants to run well, and it's a matter of wait and see. And then going to the women's category, we have the defending champion, Helen Obiri. Helen Obiri will be lining up and looking forward to defend her title. There is Sharon Lokedi, also from Kenya, and has been training in Arizona, and she won in 2022. Will she again win this year? We have Edna Kiplagat. They say age is just but a number. Edna Kiplagat at 44, and she is still strong. She is, of course, some of the favorites in that race, top athletes who are competing in that race. And then, of course, we have Vivian Cheriot, the 2018 London Marathon champion, who is also coming back from maternity. She has done some few races, but she has done well. And this is her, I think, first major marathon after a long time. And then we have Sheila Chepkirui, who was in Berlin Marathon last year, who was second. So these are our athletes who are competing there. But remember, they also did cross country like what these athletes are doing today. So they also competed in cross country, but of course they are doing marathons tomorrow in the New York Marathon. Mulemi?
The two keep ropes, Robert and Asbel, exchanging niceties there. You can see they know that they're having a very, very healthy lead ahead of the rest, and it's all about trying to maintain that lead. And Robert ushering to Asbel that let me take the lead at this moment. You will have your moments also, and it is the 10 kilometers senior men's race happening here at the Iten grounds. A very, very, very beautiful course here, and you can see they're talking to each other. They are really, really way ahead of the rest of the pack. And coming in third, of course, we'll be getting to see who comes in third. It is coming in third, of course, is John Kibet, if I'm not wrong. But then it's Robert and Asbel in first and second position. Vincent Kipto now in third, but that is Robert Kiprop leading Asbel Kiprop.
And of course, Robert Mulemi, Robert trains he belongs to the camp at the St. Patrick's. You were talking about going to St. Patrick's. So when you go there, you will meet Robert Kiprop. And of course, we have Asbel who won in Machakos and is here today also seeking to lead and win. So it's a matter of wait and see who will win here today. Mulemi.
Asbel aiming to make it 2 out of 3 races and is currently in second. Robert Kiprop now leading. Vincent Kipto is in third place. As we head toward the last few laps of this one. It is the 10-kilometer senior men's race, the last event of the day here in Iten. A total of 476 athletes had entered to participate in this one. In the loop race, that is the 2-kilometer loop race. Emmanuel Wenyonyi just piped Kamar
and
to win that one. And that's Robert now in the lead. Yeah, Bernard.
And of course, Mulemi, seeing these athletes running here today, they are all going to get either their personal best if it's your first time. So it can be recorded in your data. Remember, the Athletics Kenya were doing the registration for athletes, all athletes who are competing in various events. So you'll be able to get your time recorded in that data, and it will be easier. It can be compared with what World Athletics has, the World Athletics code. So these athletes, they know they are going to record their time in that data. So it's very important for the athletes, and I think also that has also inspired them to come and compete here today.
Of course, many will be drawing inspiration from their peers, their counterparts, and of course those whom they've been watching. And then there is Asbel Kiprop. Bernard, how do you see him faring on? Now in close to podium finish here in Iten, won it in Machakos. He might also be fancying about his chances in Kisii, Bomet and Olkalau.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if he will be able to run in Bomet and Olkalau and Kisii. But I think he's a calculative athlete because he won in Machakos. He did not run in Kapsokwony, but he's here running today in Iten. Is he going to run in Bomet? Of course, we have about 3 weeks of preparations and training. Maybe he'll be able to go also and compete there. But remember, that is South Rift. We have also tough athletes from South Rift who are really waiting for that event, and maybe they didn't come here and they want to compete there. We will also see if he'll be able to head to Olkalau and then, of course, end in Kisii. So it will be interesting to see if Asbel will be able to run in the other four remaining, the other remaining, three races that are remaining in the series.
3 races remaining. Of course, we have the Bomet leg coming in the next 3 weeks. Then we'll have the Kisii and Olkalau before culminating it with the National Cross Country Championships in Ruiru in February. But that is Robert Kiprop right now, taking a very, very good lead there, commanding just ahead of Mr. Asbel Kiprop, who was the winner of this race in Machakos and of course walked away with the 50,000 shillings. So there is a possibility that he might walk away with yet another 50,000 shillings or 40,000 shillings if he finishes second. But he looks really, really strong. He might come out with close to 90,000 Kenya shillings at least by the end of the day, having won in Machakos and now here, and the second pool of athletes is quite a distance, and that shows you that these two are destined to win this race. So it is Robert, Asbel and the crowd on their feet. Nobody has been distracted by anything, but the town is at a standstill, the Iten town. And the Iten Sports Ground, very, very, very beautiful scenes there. And we are yet to see the best out of these athletes, but they've given us the best up to now. Look at that. The beautiful scenes there. Iten Town, the home of champions. This is where they are made. On my right is St. Patrick's Iten, but that's Robert Kiprop leading Asbel Kiprop. Older Asbel Kiprop seem to have dropped off the race.
Mulemi, I think we'll also need to tell the viewers, the athletes that normally train here and they've done well across the world. We have, of course, she's now retired, Mary Keitany. Mary Keitany hails from this county. She has been training here for a long time before she retired. We have Edna Kiplagat, who is in the US now. She was training here. This is her home. We have people like David Rudisha. We have people like Matthew Kosgei, who won a silver medal at the 3,000 steeplechase junior championships in Lima, Peru.
And the likes of
we
Matthew
have-
Birir. Yes.
Yes, Matthew Birir from the other side of that is in almost El Maravin, and then we have
The legendary Ibrahim Hussein.
of course, yes, and the current champions like Rosemary Wanjiru, who was second in Berlin. She trains here, and then we have Beatrice Chebet, the double gold medalist. She now trains here in Iten. We have Daniel Simiu. We have Irene Cheptai. Irene Cheptai was, I think she was third in Chicago Marathon last month. We have Ella Kiprop.